If you do what I just showed you on this video, you're basically saying I have no warranty. What's going on YouTube? Back with another video here on the beautiful 42-inch LG C3. And as you can see here today, I'm sitting on this website called google.com. If you're not familiar with it, it's pretty cool. You can find a lot of useful information on it, things like that. So today I kind of thought I would do a tutorial on google.com.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Now, in all seriousness, this is just going to be where we start for what I'm getting ready to get into in this video. So what I wanted to do is kind of talk to you about a way to take more control over your display and how you want to enjoy content when it comes to the terrible thing known as dimming. A lot of consumers out there may not even notice their OLED TVs are dimming during content or gaming, etc. And you know what? That's awesome. Good for you, because I really wish that I didn't notice these things, because I wouldn't be doing videos like this. But, if you don't notice it, more power to you. But if you do, if you're like me and you have high sensitivity to dimming, especially when you're just sitting on a screen like I am right now, and you probably can't tell on camera because it's just a screen capture, but it's not dimming at all, and it's a C3. This may not mean anything to you yet, but it will soon. All right, so what I want to talk about today is the workaround I have found to be able to access the lockdown service menu that LG implemented starting on the 2023 lineup, including the C3, G3, and no doubt this is the same protocol they have on the C4 and the G4. And I want to get a couple of things out of the way before I get started showing you everything here. So first of all, in no way am I making this video to encourage you to do these things and to take these risks on your display, things like that. I'm doing this for entertainment purposes only. I have fun doing this sort of thing. If you're not new to my channel, you probably know I'm a bit of a risk taker when it comes to my displays. So I'm not here to try to talk you into doing this. So again, it's just here for entertainment and informational purposes. You kind of do with this information what you will. Second, this is not something that I created. This is just something that I have stumbled upon here in the last few days that kind of changed my overall perspective on how I feel about this display. In my opinion, it's a game changer. I'm really glad there are people out there that did this. So I want to say this is not anything from me directly. And this has actually been out there for a long time. It's been out there for a while. So if you searched hard enough, you may have already been aware of this solution. Me, I just discovered it the other day because I'm old and, I was just oblivious to it. If you are somebody who has attempted to gain access to your service menu on a C3 or a G3, or maybe even a new C4 and a G4, you do the same steps as you did on the prior generation models. However, once you get the service remote, one of these right here off of Amazon, the typical process is you press Start, you type in the code, which is always the same, 0413, and on the 2022 and before models, you would immediately be met with a service menu that down the middle strip would give you like 17 or 18 options that you could toggle through and make changes in the panels and stuff. Really cool stuff. Obviously, LG doesn't want the consumer in there, but as I just noted, it was that easy to get in there and make changes. Starting in 2023, LG went in and they changed the game by essentially hiding that, I won't call it a public menu, but that easy to access menu. They basically hid it behind an additional layer so that when you access the service menu now, it looks similar, but it has nothing on the screen that you can toggle, make changes to, or anything. It's basically useless. Now, me being who I am when it comes to displays, I said I have got to find a way around that, because the C3 that I have in my home is my desktop display where I do video editing. I'm in software programs all day long that have a bunch of static elements on the screen, and this display was just dimming the hell out of things, especially in my editing software program. And it almost wouldn't be that bad if in the middle of editing I just noticed the screen was darker. But what happens is the dimming will kick in, and then I move something just the right amount, or I grab and move something off the screen just enough to change something in it, and you'll see it brighten back up. And this process will repeat itself over and over and over. And if you have an LG C series or G series OLED, you probably know what I'm referring to already. And that's probably more aggravating than the dimming itself. Because at least if it dimmed down, if it would just stay at that level the whole time, but this going bright back down, bright back, that's just aggravating as hell. And I was like, I have got to find a way to turn that off. Well, I did. And I actually did 2 or 3 videos on this. And if you haven't watched them yet, I highly encourage you. I may card them in or something like that. Just so you have quick access. I highly encourage you to go watch those to see my experience gaining access to that hidden service menu. It was quite the interesting journey. So after a few weeks, having entered that hidden service menu and all of that and how it played out, I left it that I used the display every single day for about 3 weeks, and the conclusion I came to was the tremendous hurdle that LG had put in the way. Yes, you can get there. Yes, you can make the changes to turn off ASBL, etc. But the extra hurdles you have to do every time you turn on a display actually became less worth it to me when it came to, do I either want to deal with heavy dimming or annoying dimming while editing and stuff, or do I want to jump through these extra hoops they put my way every time I turn on the display? And after 3 weeks of doing that, I said, I'm actually going to factory reset this TV and start all over, and I'm just going to deal with the dimming. And so what I'm here to do today, after that very long intro, now it's time to talk to you about what this other solution is, which some of you who are display followers may already know about it, and maybe you've forgotten or something. But what I'm here to do today is talk about what it is and show you how to get it and kind of give you the initial steps to get everything set up. All right, so the devices I mentioned you're going to need for this are going to be either a PC of some sort, so that can be a laptop or a desktop, and your display. And the name of the application you're going to be working with today is called Color Control. Okay. And the very first thing you need to do is you need to make sure that your PC and your display are on the exact same network. And to some people, that's like, well, duh, they're going to be on. No, if you have a home network set up with dual band, tri-band, etc., you have different network names for different rooms in the house and stuff, just make sure the display and the PC you're doing this on are on the exact same network. That's step number one. Step number two is to go to where I am now, that really cool website called google.com. It's really damn cool, I must admit. What you're going to want to do is you're going to search for Color Control app download, if I can type. Okay, that's going to get us some search results. Stay signed out. All right, and you see you have some options here, and at first it took me a minute to go, okay, I see it here multiple times. Where do I go? You're going to want to pick the one under GitHub that's called Releases, okay? Pause. So you're going to go to Releases, and this is where the magic is going to happen. So you see here, it's new release. This is the newest version number of it. You'll scroll down here, and under Assets, you're going to see the zip file right here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on this, and of course it's going to start downloading. Once it's downloaded, it's going to of course be in a zip file. You'll want to right click it or whatever you want to do and extract all files from it, and it should, if you extract it correctly, appear in a unzipped folder now. And what you're going to want to do is, I don't know if I'm just going to drag the folder and I mean, you know what an unzipped folder looks like. Once you go into that unzipped folder, it'll have one in there. It'll be called Color Control. And once you get in there, you're going to see a whole bunch of there. I mean, a lot of confusing stuff in there. Double click on the Color Control just by itself, just Color Control with the little flower wheel next to it. And when you do that, this is going to pop open. This really fun looking program here or whatever, right? There's a lot going on here that can be really confusing, like these steps and stuff. I mean, I didn't even look any of that. But what I'm getting ready to show you is, first of all, I'm going to show you what you need to do to connect your device with this application. Now, when you first open it, it's probably going to give you a couple of prompts. At least it did for me, where it attempted to do it on its own because, again, they're on the same network. However, unfortunately, my C3 No matter what I did, I made settings changes in the menus on the display. I tried about everything that I could think of. It would not automatically detect it. And what would happen is up here where you see information right now, which was blank. And some of these things over here were disabled, like the HDMI, I think the HDMI thing was disabled, things like that. So I couldn't really do anything with this. If your device won't connect automatically, don't sweat it. This will stay blank. You won't have access to the different HDMIs to put in here. All you need to do is click this add button right here. And it's going to ask for three things. Name, just name this whatever you want. Okay, just name it LG display, put your TV model number, whatever you want to do. Next, it wants an IP address. And then lastly, it's going to want your MAC address. Once you plug these three things in correctly and press OK, your TV is going to link up with this app. And what will be different is up here in the device drop down, all of a sudden you'll see that custom name you put in here. You select it, now it'll change and look like this, and you'll see everything that you need to see. If you have a C3, and I would imagine the G3 is the same, but if you're wondering how to find this information, because of the way I'm doing screen capture here, you won't be able to see what I'm looking at, but I'm going to walk through the steps verbally and tell you how to find this info real quick. So, of course, press and hold the settings button on your remote, and then you're going to go over to support, and then IP control settings. And when you click that, this is going to give you the menu with the information that you're looking for. So you'll immediately see that, your TV model number, all that stuff. What you're going to see first is MAC address, and it's going to have two MAC addresses for it. It's going to have one for a wired setup and one for a wireless. So whichever way your device is connected to your network, choose that MAC address number. And then the other one, it's going to say network IP information, and it's just going to be a number. So once again, you're in this menu, you've taken that information, you're going to plug that IP in, you're going to plug that MAC in, name it, click OK, and now the drop down will enable you to select something. Your display is going to be there. Now you're good to go. And from here, the main reason why I wanted to, now you can do so many different things in here that I haven't even begun to uncover and work on yet. But the main number one reason why I wanted this setup in this app is to do one thing, which was to unlock that lockdown service menu. And all you need to do that, if that's all you want to do, is you go over here to this expert button, and you can see here you got a whole bunch of stuff. You see this right here, this up at the very top. It literally says enable service. It literally says enable full service menu. It does have 2022 and 2023 model OLED only, which if you have a C4 or a G4, on the prior release from this, which was 9.9.0.0, I did see some notes in there about support for 2024 models. I don't want to guarantee you that this is going to work for yours, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it probably will. If you have a C4 or G4, drop me a comment below if you follow the stuff in this video and you get everything set up right. But anyway, you click Enable Full Service menu. Right here you have two options. Click Enable. And from what I recall, I don't think anything happens on the screen, no pop-up or anything. So I didn't know if it worked or not. So from there, you're going to grab that trusty service remote again, and you're going to go ahead and try your instart methods. But you hit the instart button like you did before. You type in the code 0413, and instead of having that service menu pop up that there's nothing going on, you can't change anything, you get that unlocked service menu that was so beautiful about the C2 and prior models. And it's under the number 12 in this menu where you're going to have access to two settings that are going to control the dimming on the display when it comes to ASBL. It's called TPC enable and GSR enable. You click off for both of those. You hit the exit button when you're done, which is what I just did. That's why the light came back on my face. And there you have it. And the best part of all is I've checked this for a couple of days now. Once you've turned TPC and GSR off and you've turned off that ASBL dimming, every single time you turn on the display for the first time or any time, those are going to stay off, which is beautiful. But I'm happy to report once you do these steps I've showed you in this video, if you decide to do it, again, I'm not advocating, I'm not encouraging, but if you decide to do these steps and you get this set up properly, you go in, you turn off TPC and GSR, hopefully you get the display that you thought you were buying, no more ASBL dimming on a C3, on a newer WebOS model. That's the beautiful part, right? Those of us that have C2s and prior, this didn't change anything, except if you have a C2 or a G2 and you accidentally or on purpose installed an update called 13.30.56. That was the software update LG pushed out to the C2 and the G2 that brought in the new WebOS and in turn locking down your service menu. I really hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, or even if you just found it entertaining, and again, you have no interest in doing this, hit the like button for me. This will get it circulated out to more people, and more people can be entertained or find a new way to enjoy their display. Uh, Besides that, if you're not subscribed yet and you enjoy this sort of content, consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on the bell, because I have a lot more content coming. Maybe not exactly like this, but I have more content coming on LG OLED displays that may interest you. Make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell. But as I say at the end of all my videos, with all that being said, until the next one.